Yes, dear students, let us start with the explanation of the chapter The Ailing Planet by Nani Palkhiwala. Before we start with the paraphrasing of the paragraphs, let us throw some insight into the introduction regarding the chapter. This chapter is based upon degrading position of Mother Earth. The present scenario of India is highly deplorable, as a report of Parliament estimates. Committee highlights near catastrophic depletion of Indian forests at the rate of 3.7 million acres a year. The article, The Ailing Planet, the Green Movement's Role, was written by Nani Palkhiwala and published in the Indian Express on 24th November 1994. Dear students, you should know who's the author of this article. The author of this article is Nani Palkhiwala. And when was this article published? It was published on 24th November 1994 in the newspaper, that is the Indian Express. Now, when was this green movement started? In the very first paragraph, we see to it that this green movement was started about nearly 25 years ago. Now, what do you mean by green movement? First of all, it was man who behaved in a very selfish manner, just thinking about his survival. He was too proud, thinking that he was the one who was dominating the planet. But slowly and gradually, he came to know that in today's time, it is not the question of his survival, but the question of the survival of the planet. Because if the planet is going to survive, then only he is going to survive. So with this initiative in mind, this green movement was started about 25 years ago. The world's first nationwide Green Party was founded in New Zealand in the year 1972. One of the major points that you need to remember about the Green Party, it was founded in the country New Zealand in the year 1972. And since then, this movement has never ever looked back. Why? Because we see to it various agencies, various NGOs, the environmentalists, working together, working hand in hand towards saving of our planet Earth. Now, we have to answer this particular question. A very important question has been raised in this particular chapter, that are we getting ready to make the earth like this? Now, what does this picture show? That the earth is covered up with sand. That means the desert. In other words, if we do not stop overusing our natural resources, very soon our earth, our planet earth, will get devoid of the green plants, and we have the advancing deserts. Now, we have the 4 biological systems on this earth. They are the fisheries, they are the croplands, they are the grasslands. Now, they form and the forests, and they form the foundation of the global economic system. That is, it is not only these particular biological systems are not only responsible for the greenery on our planet Earth, but also it is very important if we see it from the economical perspective. They form the foundation of the global economic system. Apart from supplying food, the 4 systems provide virtually all the raw materials for industry, except minerals and petroleum-derived synthetics. Again, these 4 biological systems are very important. I repeat, they are the fisheries, the forests, the grasslands, and the cropland. But now what is happening? Deforestation is taking place at a very large scale, due to which the forest trees are getting destroyed, and because of it we have the condition of the soil erosion, and that is one of the reasons why we have the natural disasters. Growing use of dung for burning, depriving farmlands of an important natural fertilizers. Now, in the villages where we do not have these gas stoves, firewood is used, and the cow dung is used. And where do we get it? Obviously, we get it from the earth. So what is happening? We are depriving the farmlands of an important natural fertilizers. A 5-fold increase in the rate of forest planting needed to cope with expected fuel wood demand in the year 2000. Now, James Speth, the president of World Resources Institute, declared that we are losing the forest at an acre and a half a second. Now let us see, we are not going to talk about the entire world, but let us see about the constitution, rather the Indian constitution, and the legal action which is taken against these particular antisocial elements. But all these laws that are made, or the rules that are made, they are mainly a farce. They are the artificial one. Why? Because no sooner a law is made, there's a loophole, or rather an alibi is made, or a contrasting law is made in order to break the existing law. Laws are never respected nor are enforced in India. According to Article 48A of the Constitution, provides for the state to protect and improve and conserve the forests and wildlife. But the truth is just the opposite. Now let us start with a paraphrasing of the lines. From sometimes our views have shifted from seeing earth and its resources as irreversible to complete opposite. We now understand that our resources need to conserve for the future generations. Copernicus taught mankind how the earth and the other planets revolved around the sun. We had a discussion that beforehand, before Copernicus, it was believed that it is sun which revolves around our planet Earth. But it was Copernicus who has given us the theory that the Earth and the other planets, they revolve around the sun. That means it was a totally different perspective. And it was a complete change which evolved human perception. Now the Earth is seen as a living organism of which we all are the integral part. Earth has its own metabolism, its own needs, and vital needs which humans should respect and preserve. Earth is now like a patient whose health is declining. We, as human beings, are now realizing our duty to be good managers of the planet and to be a responsible trustees to conserve the environment so that we can pass a legacy to the future generations. We need to remember that this earth, we are just the life tenants. We are not the owners of this planet Earth, because this earth, this type of the environment that we are now suffering from, we did not inherit it from our fathers. And this earth, the atmosphere that we are now living in, the environment that we are not living in, we cannot pass it on to our future generations. Sustainable development was popularized in the year 1987 by the World Commission on the Environment and Development. In the reports, sustainable development is termed as a type of development that meets the needs of the present without compromising for the future generation. Now, there is a cage in the zoo in Lusaka, Zambia. My dear students, you very well know what do you mean by zoo. You go to visit the zoo where the wild animal are caged. You go there for entertainment. Now, there's some peculiar thing about this particular zoo in Lusaka. There is a cage where there is no animal kept, but there is a mirror. And when you go near the cage, when you have a look at the mirror, what do you see? You see your own reflection. And there in the cage it is written, the world's most dangerous animal. It is the harsh reality, dear students, that man is the most dangerous animal, or is the most dangerous creature for this planet Earth. With the efforts of the new agencies in the world, now humans are seen as the most dangerous animals. They have realized the importance of shifting to a new system based on partnership. Now man has realized that there was a time when they used to think that they were the ones who are the owners, who are dominating this entire planet. But now they have realized that they share this planet with the flora and the fauna. Humans share the earth with about 1.4 million living species, according to the classification of the scientists. But there are so many species which are just languishing, which are just roaming about in ignominious darkness, they are still uncatalogued. Biologists calculate that there are still millions of other species which are yet not classified due to their weakness or due to the lack of knowledge about them. Brand Commission, an important commission, was one of the early international commissions who dealt with the questions of ecology and environment. They commissioned Mr. L.K. Jha as one of their commission members, who was an Indian. Its first report raised a question that are we going to leave a burned planet with aged deserts, poor landscape, and a pure environment for our future generations? Dear students, when you are told to draw a landscape, you know what to draw. You draw a river, you draw the mountains, you draw the trees, you draw the flowers, you draw the grass, you draw the sun. But this landscape, our future generation will not be able to enjoy if we do not protect our environment. Now, as told prior, there are foremost biological systems that form the foundation of the global economic system, according to the book by Leslie R. Brown, The Global Economic Prospect. Again, they are the fisheries, they are the grasslands, the forests, and the croplands. These four systems provide food and raw materials for industry, except for minerals and synthetics. These systems have reached an unsustainable point where their productivity has been hampered. And what is the reason for their productivity getting hampered? It is the growing population. With this, because of the overuse of these resources, what is going to happen? The fisheries will collapse. The forests will slowly disappear. Why? Because we are cutting down the forests at an enormous rate. The grasslands will disappear. They will turn into barren wastelands, and the croplands will grow worse. Overfishing is becoming very common nowadays. Why? Because the people have to meet the demand of the growing population. The people are becoming protein conscious. Now, in poor countries, forests are being cut down on a large scale to obtain firewood. It has been said that the forests precede mankind. Before man came into this world, it was covered with the forests. But what is going to succeed? It is the desert. Why? Because we are cutting the forests at an enormous rate. The world's ancient patrimony of tropical forests is now eroding at the rate of 40 to 50 million acres a year. And the growing use of the dung for burning deprives the soil of a natural fertilizer, which is really required for the fertility of the soil. The World Bank estimates that a 5-fold increase in the rate of forest planting is needed to cope up with the expected fuel wood demand in the year 2000. Forests and deserts come first in order in comparisons to humans. The ancient inheritance of tropical forests is constantly wearing away at the rate of 40 to 50 million acres a year. According to the Article 48A of the Constitution of India, the state should try to protect and improve the environment and must protect the forest and wildlife of the country. But the painful fact is that laws are never respected nor enforced in India. Meaning, for example, it is said that caste laws are made, banning or removing casteism, untouchability, and bonded labor. But the irony of our country is it is shamelessly flourishing in our country. Over the last 4 decades, India is losing forests at a rate of 3.7 million acres a year, as per the report of Parliament's Estimates Committee. But this particular number is less. If you really go and see in this particular forest area, the forests are really, or rather the trees really are getting cut, or the deforestation is really taking place at an enormous rate. It is 8 times the rate given by the government statistics. According to the 3-year study conducted by the United Nations using satellites and aerial photography, our environment has got so bad that in the 88 countries that has been surveyed, it has reached the critical stage. Growth of the world population at such a fast rate is one of the strongest factor behind the distortion of the human mankind. It had taken 1 million years to reach the first billion population, and in the next 100 years, the population number increased by the next million numbers. And at present, in the 20th century, the population has reached about 3.7 million, and the present number is 5.7 billion. And it is going on increasing and increasing. So we have to put a check on the growing population. Then only development is going to take place. And development is the best contraceptive, it is the best solution for overpopulation. It can help in reduction in fertility and rise in income to spread more education and improvement in health. But if the number of population goes on increasing, we will not be able to attain the development. Why? If we talk about India, what is happening? The rich is getting richer and the poor is begetting. That means they are having children at an enormous rate. Why? Because they believe that the more children that they have, the more number of hands, the working hands that they are going to have. But what they don't realize that the more number of children will also mean the increase in the number of stomachs which they have to fulfill. Humans should not be treated like cattle who can be sterilized by force. But to control population, some sort of mutual understanding has to be reached. Now humans have to choose between population and keeping up or the increasing poverty. The population of India is 920 million. That is more than the population of the continents of Africa and South America together. That means one country, India, is having more population than 2 continents. This is a shameful thing. If the population is not controlled, most of the people would die. But with time, people now are concerned about the survival of the planet. We have now started to seek our existence with a comprehensive view. Solving environmental problems are a passport to the future and should not be seen as a remark of our death. We should see the world as a whole, not as different parts. So now what we have, and industry really is going to play a very important role. Why? Because now they have realized that they are sending in the waste products of the industries in the drains, in the lakes, in the rivers, in the sea. And first of all, they were not at all concerned about the environment. But now has come the era of responsibility, and industry really has to play an important part. And the chairman of DuPont, Mr. Woolard, declared himself as the chief environmental officer. And such attitude the industry should develop in order to bring in the transformation. When Margaret Thatcher, now who was Margaret Thatcher? As discussed, Margaret Thatcher was the former British Prime Minister. And in one of her statements, which was so well chosen, she said that if we talk about our predecessors or our prior or our former generation, they also did not have a free hold on this earth. Why? Because they had passed on to this earth to us, and we are going to pass on this earth to our future generation. Then the future generation will become the predecessor, will pass on their generation to their successor. And like this, it is going to go on and on and on with a full repairing lease. And according to Mr. Lester Brown, we have not inherited this earth from our forefathers, rather, we have borrowed it from